Welcome to day 23 of the 30 Days to Ascension challenge to help you anchor in 5D consciousness. If you have not already watched the videos from days 1 through 22, make sure you go back and watch those first because you'll want to watch these in order. And if you have been enjoying these videos, be sure to share them. It really helps other people find the content. And what also helps is if you hit that thumbs up button and press subscribe so you never miss a video. I appreciate it so much. And I just want to remind you that for every day's lesson, there are 3 pieces. The first is the channeled message here on YouTube. The second is the lesson in the membership, the Channel Collective. If you're not already a member, then just head to the link in the description below to learn all about everything that's included in the membership. And in the lessons in the membership, I share more of my reflections on what was said in the channeled message, give some more context, talk about anything else that's come through from the guides about that topic in particular, give some examples to anchor it into your own life, and just add a bit more to what was covered. So if you ever feel confused about the different codes or layers of meaning within the channeled message, those videos are going to explain a lot for you. So check those out. And then the third piece to every day's lesson is the daily email. So every single day I'm sending out an email with specific exercises that correspond with the lesson to help you integrate the information because we are covering a lot. And you probably want to return to these lessons later on when you feel called to it because you'll get something new out of them every single time. So keep all of that in mind. And if you're not signed up for those daily emails, the link for that will be in the description below. As always, I will just remind you with these channeled messages and any channeled information, it's just information that you get to discern for yourself, right? So you can decide if you want to take it on or not. If it resonates, great. If it doesn't, no worries. Keep that in mind always. So no matter who it's from, I say it every time I try to because I think it's so important. Just take everything as interesting information, perspective, and then you get to discern and decide for yourself if it resonates for you. Okay, so today for day 23, wow, I can't believe it's day 23. Oh my gosh. Okay, so today Serapis Bey is going to come back through. He's really the leader of this challenge. He's the one who told me to do this. So he's going to come back through today and we'll see what he has to say. All right, so give me a moment to tune in, and Serapis Bey will teach what he wants to teach. Throughout this challenge, we hope that you are seeing how these lessons are meant to expand your mind, expand your consciousness, expand the flexibility of the way you think so that you can access the different levels of your multidimensionality and have more freedom, have more choice in the way you wish to view things. And so with all of these messages, you will feel the stretch, and this is where your growth is happening. Throughout these lessons, we are pointing out places for you to become aware of that show up in your daily life. As much of this work will not necessarily be an instantaneous shift as you perceive, for it can be if you choose, but for many of you will experience it as perhaps a slower shift and then a moment of the click, the realization, the understanding. As you see the lessons play out in your life, you see them within context. And so we are highlighting, pinpointing areas for you to take note of in your life and utilize these lessons in action so that you can feel the shift, so that you can access perspective that perhaps you did not realize you had before. This is expanding your consciousness, seeing the world from the 5th dimensional consciousness, as so many of you wish to. But many of you wish to from a place of believing this is better than. And this is overlooking what this consciousness, what this level of consciousness, what this level of understanding is in itself, which we have pointed out many times for you, and I wish to point out again today. And so another area for you to look into in your daily life is to be aware of judgment. Where you feel judgment. Where do you judge another? Where do you judge things you see, people in your environment, situations? Where do you judge yourself? These are all moments to realize that when you are in judgment, this is rooted in one being better than another, a hierarchical way of thinking. And these are the moments where you can realize I am in judgment and what would be a different perspective. For to move out of the three-dimensional consciousness is to be in an energy of realizing that all is love, there is value in all, and to remove yourself from better than another, but rather seeing the value in all and operating from choice, freedom, to say this is my preference, and I respect the preference of any other, for we all are one, and for my preference to be respected, I understand that I also respect another's, for this is a reflection of me and my energy. And so to notice where you are in judgment of any other, and then to go different layers deeper to understand, why am I in judgment here? This is where you can see where the programming, the rules, the beliefs have been imprinted, ingrained in you. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to realize. It is to make what has been automatic and bring it to the surface for you to shift and adjust. And from this, you regain control of how you perceive the world, your beliefs, and what you attract into your environment, into your reality. To be in judgment indicates a conflict with your own beliefs. And so it is to highlight what those beliefs are. And this is where the answers lie. It is to observe where you are in judgment and to see how it is rooted in, I know better than another. And what is the energy, the frequency behind the judgment? And in being aware of the judgment, this is the key of all. It is not to judge the judgment. For now you are residing in the same frequency, judging the judgment, judging yourself for judging the judgment, judging yourself for the judging. It is to be an observation rather than judgment. As we have discussed before, viewing neutrality as an anchoring point when you feel yourself in a lower frequency so that you can come back to a neutrality point and pivot into the frequencies that feel most in alignment with where you want to be, who you want to be, how you want to feel. And this is the challenge for you, is to not judge the judgment, to be aware of the judgment, not to judge yourself. For where do you judge yourself? This is the depth we ask you to go to. Where you judge yourself, you hold that judgment in your body. The energy of better than, worse than, residing in your energy body, dictating how you view the world, what you perceive. Where you judge yourself is where you do not forgive yourself. And to be in fifth dimensional consciousness is to be in forgiveness, to be in love, to be in compassion. Where you see yourself in judgment is where you can unlock the next level of your expansion. Do you see how these challenges for you expand your mind, allow you to regain control, truly allow you to love yourself, And where you love yourself, where you forgive yourself, where you are in love, is where you radiate the brightest. And this is how you send the energy, the frequency of a higher state of consciousness, of love, out into the world around you that you perceive. And so as you ask, how do we make the shift as a collective? It is to realize that the collective is one. You are a piece of this. And where are you spreading the light? And where are you staying in lower frequencies? For it is to take responsibility for the frequencies within yourself. For if your perception creates the reality around you, and you want the reality around you to shift on a large level into a new state of consciousness, of course it all begins with you. It is to come back in alignment with yourself as a divine expression of source, to see yourself in that divinity, in that love. To change the lens through which you see the world. Are you ready to release judgment? Where does judgment keep you safe? For many of you have learned to use judgment to make yourselves feel better. This has been deep programming within many of you, and it is not to judge the programming in itself, but to realize that this is where you feel stuck in a frequency where in fact to judge another might make you feel deceptively better than another, but this is only in a lower state of consciousness where you stay at a frequency that does not truly feel good in alignment with you, because it is the foundational frequency, as we have discussed before, that is of the utmost importance. It is the intention behind it. And so to judge another from a place of wanting to lift yourself up, there is a mismatch, for this is not in love overall. Is it truly loving yourself to put another down? To believe that for you to love yourself, you must be better than? And this is where the idea of love has become confused in much of your society and so much of the programming. What does this truly mean? What is the vibration that you feel? Think of times when you have been in community, when everyone is happy and laughing, and you feel the vibration, the uplifting vibration. Does this not feel preferred for you then to be alone in a false vibration of what you think is love, but truly is not? For the intention behind it was not rooted in a high foundational frequency. Can you see that? As you are all connected, as you see that those in your surroundings are mirrors for you, the more you love another, the more you have compassion for another, forgiveness for another, and we will remind you what love for another means. It's quite different than what many of you think. The more that is reflected back to you, the compassion, the forgiveness, it is where you are reactive that you act from the automatic programming. And it is to observe that programming, to become aware of what it is, and to ask yourself if it is rooted in the vibration you wish to live in, the vibration you wish this collective to be in. It is to take responsibility for your own reactions for your own ability to shift the reality around you, for your own judgments. And to take responsibility is not to blame. It is to stand firm in your power, in your ability to create for yourself, to co-create. This is stepping into inner freedom for you, where you take responsibility propels you forward. And as you start to notice where all the judgments pop up around you, you see them amidst others, you see them within yourself. It is to have compassion for yourself and for others, to realize that that is not the way to achieve the results so many of you wish to achieve. And this is another aspect I ask you to observe for yourself is, what is the thing you wish to achieve? For so many of you are in the mode of chasing, moving forward. You do so many things because you think they will get you ahead, they will push you forward. But what is it you are trying to get to? Is it a material thing, a place, a position? But this is where you assume the thing, the place, the position will give you the frequency. This is so misleading for so many of you. It is keeping you in a cycle where you are missing what it is you truly desire. What is it you truly desire? And when you realize what you truly desire, you are able to see this as well as where your fears come up for you, and realize that you can go deep, deep, deep into your fears, confront them, and notice, if I were to face my fear, would I still be able to achieve this frequency? Remember that what is difficult for you is what you perceive to be difficult. It is where you have decided. This is all in strengthening the mind, strengthening your perception. And as you shift your level of consciousness, you will begin to understand more and more and notice how you can label anything differently and have a completely different perception. And I invite you to toy with this, of what you label difficult. Tell yourself it is easy. And perhaps vice versa. Just to try it on, to see how you can have the flexibility in your perception. You are a powerful being. And these are all exercises to expand your consciousness so you can truly come back into your own innate power and your choice. For where you are running on programs, where you are running on automatic processing, where you are running from a place of lack of awareness, is where you are not creating for yourself. And this is the time for you. You are becoming aware. And in becoming aware, you are able to release the frequencies, release the stories, the beliefs that have put you in fear, that have held you back. And to release them, what is left? Is there fear for you in being in true happiness and love and forgiveness? And if so, what is that fear? To be content, so many of you resist. And this is one of the greatest pieces of awareness you can have of them all. Where you fear, where you resist, to be in pure love, compassion, and forgiveness. To be without the drama, the programming. To be in control, to take full responsibility. Where this takes you out of the chase, the highs, the lows. There is much value in the many highs and lows you experience. But it is to realize you can still experience them while also holding another perspective. And you can choose the vibration you wish to sit in, the way in which you choose to view the world instead of feeling stuck in one, feeling limited. Choosing your timeline rather than believing you do not have the ability to create this for yourself. It is stepping back into your power. And this sets you free. All right. Thanks, Serapis Bey. Don't forget to head to the Channel Collective for the follow-up lesson for this. And head to your email inbox for the daily exercises that will help you integrate this content. And I will see you tomorrow for the next daily channeled message.